Okay, so the next section is just a little bit harder questions. The basic idea is the same. So on this next one, my bases are 125 and 125th, and I recognize both of these as powers of 5. So 125 is 5 cubed, and then I'll bring that x down. 1 over 25, 25 is 5 squared, so 1 over 25 is 5 to the negative 2. And then I'm going to bring down the next one I have. Here I have a binomial, so I'm going to have to distribute. So we cross off the 5s. This side we just have a 3x. Over here we have negative 8 plus 2x. Bring over the 2x. And we just get negative 8 for our answer on that one. Just a thought, sometimes people try to make this 125 and the 125th into a 25 or a 125. You're going to have to use some kind of crazy stuff with roots to do that. It's always easier just to make them that smaller number or the simplest number you can, like the 5 in that case. So looking at the next one, 2 and 64. 64 is a power of 2. So I'm going to keep this one the same. And the 64 turns into a 2 to the 6th. So if you need to, you don't remember what power of 2 64 is, you can just type 2 to the 4th, 2 to the 5th, 2 to the 6th in your calculator until you figure it out. The more you know, the better you are with those powers, the easier this will be for you though. So this one, I get a quadratic. Okay, so I'm going to choose to set it equal to 0. This is an incomplete quadratic, so I could have also had x squared equals 9 and taken a square root, gotten plus or minus 3, but I'm going to factor this one because that does work. So the other method, would be fine to use. So this one, I actually have 2 answers. And with the problems we're going to see in this next section, these next 2, we are going to have quadratics that result from these equations. So, in E, this is the first time we have a fraction as the base for both of them. So I still just look at those denominators of 2 and 4 and try to figure out what power, what I would make for those, and then I make the exponents negative. So 1/2 is 2 to the negative 1. 1/4 is 2 to the negative 2 because 4 is 2 squared. Then I'll bring down these exponents. I think I did not leave enough room. So I'm going to move this over. I still did not leave a great amount of room, but it's fine. Both of these are binomials, so I have a situation where I'm going to have to distribute for both of them, cross out the common bases. So this gives me negative 3x squared minus 15x equals 30x plus 162. Now, noticing that this is a quadratic, I want to bring everything to one side to factor it, and I don't really like having this negative 3x squared, so I'm going to move these 2 terms over to make it positive 3x squared. That'll make my next step a little easier to work with the positive lead coefficient. So this gives me 3x squared. We have plus 45x plus 162 equals 0. Now, luckily, this would be kind of a beast to factor, but 3 is a GCF here. So I'm going to take a 3 out of this and have x squared plus 15x plus 54 equals 0. So let me just move this down a little bit so we'll have room to finish our factoring. So this is going to be 3 adds to 15, multiplies to 54, 6 and 9 work. So the 3 equals 0. Since there is no x, we can cross that out. Then this one is going to give me negative 6, and this one is going to give me negative 9. It's always a good idea to check your answers, but on this type of equation, there's no reason that we would get those extraneous roots or those answers that don't work that we've seen with our fractional equations. and our radical equations last unit. So let's look at our last one. I would pause the video and try this one first, and then come back and check your work. So 6 and 216, 216 is a power of 6, that's 6 to the third. So since this is a fraction, I'm going to use 6 to the negative third. This will just stay as 6. Our exponents, 2x squared plus 16 here, and negative 6x plus 4 here. Cross out our bases. Okay, my 2x squared is already positive, so I'm going to move these terms over this way. So I have 2x squared minus 18x plus 28 for this one. Again, and for some reason in this section on Delta Math, it seems like there's a GCF on almost everyone, so be looking for that. Take out a 2. And numbers that add up to negative 9 multiplied with 14 are negative 7 and negative 2. And you can just, ignore the 2. You don't have to show this crossing out. I'm just showing that doesn't give you an answer here. So my answers are 7 and 2 for this one.